Eliminate the negative, give effort they can never give. These nutritional facts, so peep, it's imperative. You peep the content and the nonsense that you letting in. Ignore the critics, the bitches sleep. Fuck they said it's here. I'm a hustle. Hey, yo, get right, go get right. Yeah, what up? It's your boy Rhymes. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a special episode of Pen Game right here on Rhymes on Deck TV, where we view hip hop differently. So as you can see, I'm not with my partner in crime, my partner in rhyme, Third Degree. I kicked him off the show. I'm joking, obviously. But I definitely wanted to get up here, you know what I'm saying? You know, we understand that the holiday is coming up, you know what I mean? We got Mother's Day right here. And I feel like, it's time to go ahead and throw some reactions out here for the mothers, you know what I'm saying? So salute to all the good mothers. I'm throwing that out there now, the good mothers. If you're a trash mom, fuck out of here. This ain't for you. This to the good mothers. Salute, you know what I mean? But I think it's dope that, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to get up here and do an artist that I think is, one of the top 2 or 3 most impactful artists of all time. Starting this joint off with a classic song. And of course, I'm talking about Dear Mama by Tupac. I mean, it don't get much more classic than that, So for those of y'all have heard it, you know what I'm saying? That's dope. If you haven't, hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we showing you something brand new. But right now, we about to get into Tupac, Dear Mama. Love the song. Let's get it.
You all appreciate it. When I was young, me and my mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Go back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys, breaking all the rules. Shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than other little kids. And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whooping to my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed, a poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it, there's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama,
place no one above you,
you all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you?
That song, it hits every single time I hear it, you know what I'm saying? For me, like as a dude who's lost his mom, like it's powerful because what I love about, this whole song, he spoke about love. He spoke about his struggles with his relationship with his mom. He talked about just kind of everything that was going on. It's like, especially the struggle, but he kept saying, you are appreciated, especially throughout that chorus. Let's go back and take a look and see what we can kind of break down, maybe just a little bit.
You all appreciate it.
Yeah.
When I was young, me and my mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Go back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place.
I think that's powerful right there. You know what I'm saying? Well, first off, you're 17 years old and you beefing with your mom. You know what I mean? Like, in my head, I'm like, I would never beef with my mom. I might have disagreements or arguments or something, but I ain't beefing with my dukes, Like, that's kind of crazy. So, but, his shit was pretty extreme with everything that he was going through. But he also said, ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place, And that's the truth. That is the 100% truth. Let's get it.
on the streets. Go back at the time, I never thought I'd see a face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys, breaking all the rules. Shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than other little kids. And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama.
Him speaking about, he's saying when things went wrong, we blame mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, as a single parent, that could be tough, especially with your kids not having their baby father around or whatever the case may be. Like, that is tough because in your head, you're the mother up here doing everything that you're supposed to do, or at least, you're putting in the effort. And when you're putting in that effort, you're getting the blame because of blah blah blah, but they don't see and maybe understand that you're trying your best at times. So I definitely get it. Like, that's tough, and I think it's cool that he was aware of that to put that in the song. Let's get it.
Had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell.
And I think that's something that's maybe as when we're younger, as kids, like, yo, all the stress we cause our parents, I think that's like, people don't know. You know what I'm saying? People truly don't know.
We blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day.
And I also think that that's interesting too, because he said, who knew they in elementary? Hey, I'd see the penitentiary one day. You don't think about that when you're in the fifth grade or in elementary school. Um, Actually, maybe at times you do, but it's not good. It's not healthy. All of that is due to your environment and everything that's going on around you. Um, but like, once again, all that's the stress that's being put on your moms and whatnot. Like, I think that's something that we should, like, as kids, it makes you wish that they were aware of it or you were aware of it as a child. The stress that you put on your parents because you just don't see it.
I see the penitentiary one day.
And then just the musicality of everything that he's doing. Like, elongating his words. Hey, and I'd see the penitentiary one day, and just stuff like that. That helped the song flow a lot better. You know what I'm saying?
Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whoop into my backside.
But she was right there to whoop his ass whenever he was fucking up. She was right there to get him. Like, that's what a mom's supposed to do. Instill a specific amount of discipline in you. There's you messing up. There's her doing what she has to do, doing her job, getting on you.
And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama.
And that right there, that's crazy. Just even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama. Like, that's, once again, the musicality, but then that is powerful what he's saying. Like, damn, like, your mom's was, a crack fiend. That's powerful just to even sit there and think about it, because you go to school or whatever, most likely this is known around the area, and yo, son, your mom's a crackhead. I know the way we used to get down, whenever we used talking shit in school, like, and the crackhead was like the worst thing to possibly be. So imagine, the way that went for him. That's crazy.
To my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama. I finally understand, for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man.
And then that's something that I think is extremely powerful, because as a woman, it's not easy to raise a man. It truly isn't. It never has been and never will be, because she can't teach you men things. She can't teach you how to be a man, She don't know how to be a man herself. What she knows is maybe to be a woman that has, to try to raise a man, but she don't know how to raise a man herself. You know what I'm saying? So I think, the fact that she always just gonna put that effort in, Obviously women have that nurturing and mothers have that nurturing side to them, but that like it's tough. To be able to raise a man, it takes a man to be able to raise a man. It's just like the other way around. Like a dude can't really, teach girls certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's raising her, dudes don't know the ins and outs of female ways, so he's not gonna know exactly how to raise. I can't teach a girl how to be a woman because I don't know how to do all of that stuff. I don't know the intricacies of this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's powerful right there, definitely. And it's sad. The sad reality of the world is that this is what people deal with.
Black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed. A poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it. There's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
And what I love about what he just said was the fact that you always was committed. Like you were committed, and that's one thing that the true mothers, they know they are so committed to raise their children. They are so committed to their children. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's amazing. I wish that everybody was like that.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama,
baby? Please, no one above you,
you all appreciate it.
sweet. Don't you know we love you?
Now ain't nobody tell us it was fair. No love for my daddy cause the coward wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry cause my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. They say I'm wrong and I'm heartless, but all along I was looking for a father, he was gone. I hung around with the thugs, and even though they sold drugs, they showed a young brother love. I moved out and started really hanging. I needed money of my own, so I started slanging. I ain't guilty, cause even though I sell rocks, it feels good putting money in your mailbox. I love paying rent when the rent's due. I hope you got the diamond necklace that I sent to you. Cause when I was low, you was there for me. You never left me alone because you cared for me. And I can see you coming home after work late. You're in the kitchen trying to fix us a hot plate. Just working with the scraps you was given. And mama made miracles every Thanksgiving. But now the road got rough, you're alone. You're trying to raise two bad kids on your own. And there's no way I can pay you back. But my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
And dear mama,
baby? Please, no one above you,
you all appreciate it.
sweet. Don't you know we love you?
Man, I think that was a dope verse too. Like one thing I love about Tupac, man, people always talk about, all right, he wasn't maybe the greatest or most technical lyricist, but he was a poet and he spoke on society's issues. And I mean, it was just real. Like, let's just, be honest about that. Everything about him was real. It came from a dope place. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he just spoke from the heart is what I'm getting at. And I think that yeah, man, Pac was amazing when it came to all of this. Let's take it back, see if we can, see what we can break down a little bit.
It wasn't there. Nobody tell us it was fair.
Don't you know we love you?
Now ain't nobody tell us it was fair. No love for my daddy cause the coward wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry cause my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger.
Mm. So dealing with that, right? I think that it's tough because you talk about single parent households, whether it's just a single dad or the single moms. I think that the emotions that it brings out of the child, regardless of how whatever led to that situation, it's crazy because your child can grow up just hating you know that mother or that father because they weren't there, they didn't put in the effort. And then it's like, okay, as the parent that's in that child's life, it's like, how do you explain this to the child to where they're not gonna be as affected, or maybe there wouldn't be anger festered or anything along those lines. And that's a challenge, man. Like, yo, as parents, especially as single parents, It is a challenge that, and it will never go away. And you just do your best to try to protect your child from everything. You know, it's tough.
Wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry. Cause my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. They say I'm wrong and I'm heartless. But all along I was looking for a father, he was gone. I hung around with the thugs, and even though they sold drugs, they showed a young brother love.
Man, and just with that, you know, he went to the block. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what happened. You know, the men in his life was, you know, like dudes on the block. You know, even though they sold drugs, they showed a young homie love. You know, that's just what it is. Sad.
Wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. They say I'm wrong and I'm heartless. But all along I was looking for a father, he was gone. I hung around with the thugs, and even though they sold drugs, they showed a young brother love. I moved out and started really hanging. I needed money of my own, so I started slanging. I ain't guilty, cause even though I sell rocks, it feels good putting money in your mailbox.
And even just with that, you know, he, you know, it was a negative positive. You know what I'm saying? It was a means to justify ends. You know what I'm saying? So he, you know, even though I'm selling rocks, it felt good putting money in your mailbox. That it's tough because his negativity allowed him to do something that he felt was positive, and which is positive. You know, the end result is him putting money in his mom's mailbox. You know what I'm saying? Having money for his ma dukes, and that's ill. I know everybody wants that. Like as a man growing up in a single mother household, you know, I think that's crazy. But you know, it's just the fact the lack of a father is what helped drive him down this specific path. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough.
Because even though I sell rocks, it feels good putting money in your mailbox. I love paying rent when the rent's due. I hope you got the diamond necklace that I sent to you. Cause when I was low, you was there for me. You never left me alone because you cared for me. And I
Mm. Like that, just off of that, you know what I'm saying? It's powerful. Like everything doesn't have to be like the wittiest double entendre or chip or triple. You know what I'm saying? Like simple can get the job done. It just depends on how you utilize your words and everything that he said and the meaning that it has. Like he's killing this. He really is. This is ill.
hope you got the diamond necklace that I sent to you. Cause when I was low, you was there for me. You never left me alone because you cared for me. And I can see you coming home after work late. You're in the kitchen trying to fix us a hot plate. You just
Like moms will do that in a heartbeat. Like they can be feeling like ish and just real talk. They can just be down and out. But hold up, these kids gotta eat. I gotta figure out a way to get these kids to eat. You know, they hungry. Let me, you know, make them this. Let me make them that. You know, and they will get in there and they will try to cook up the dopest meal and make sure that we eat. And I think that's amazing. It's the effort that they put in. It's the love that they do it with that shines through. You know.
you're in the kitchen trying to fix us a hot plate. You're just working with the scraps you was given. And mama made miracles every Thanksgiving. But now the road got rough, you're alone. You're trying to raise two bad kids on your own. And there's no way I can pay you back. But my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know when love is sweet?
And dear mama,
Please, no one above is
you all appreciate it.
sweet. Don't you know when love is
Pour out some liquor and I reminisce. Cause through the drama I can always depend on my mama. And when it seems that I'm hopeless, you say the words that can get me back in focus. When I was sick as a little kid, to keep me happy there's no limit to the things you did. And all my childhood memories are full of all the sweet things you did for me. And even though I act crazy, I gotta thank the Lord that you made me. There are no words that can express how I feel. You never kept a secret, always stayed real. And I appreciate how you raised me and all the extra love that you gave me. I wish I could take the pain away If you can make it through the night, there's a brighter day. Everything will be alright if you hold on. It's a struggle every day, gotta roll on. And there's no way I can pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama. And there's no way I can pay you back, but my
Don't you know we love you, sweet
and dear mama.
Please, no one above you,
You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you?
Pour out some liquor and I reminisce, cause through the drama I can always depend on my mama. And when it seems that I'm hopeless, you say the words that can get me back in focus.
Like when him saying that, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though it seems hopeless, you say the words that can get me back in focus. And that right there, just, some pen game talk, that's a little bit of word bending, you know what I'm saying? And, near rhymes, hopeless, focus, so that's pretty dope. But I can relate to that, you know what I'm saying, a lot, because I remember, I would have different things going on in my life that my mom just would not know about or whatever, you know what I'm saying, some bad things. But what I would do, I would I'd get on the phone and I'd call her and I just talk to her. I wouldn't tell her nothing about whatever situation is going on. But the craziest thing, like, I don't know, it was just the calm and presence, you know what I mean? The calm and presence would be there, and I would just pick up the phone, talk to her. And so right after I got off the phone with her, I would know how to handle whatever situation it was that I was going through at the time. I wouldn't tell her a word about it. But, he kind of just, said something similar to that, hopeless focus. Like, I'm with that 100%.
Mama, I can always depend on my mama. And when it seems that I'm hopeless, you say the words that can get me back in focus. When I was sick as a little kid, to keep me happy, there's no limit to the things you did. And all my childhood memories are full of all the sweet things you did for me.
Yeah. And that's something that's powerful too, because, when you reminisce and just sit back, like I said, if you had a good mother, you remember the good times. You remember all of the, the sweet memories, as you said. So yeah, this is hitting.
Full of all the sweet things you did for me. And even though I act crazy, I gotta thank the Lord that you made me.
Yeah.
There are no words that can express how I feel. You never kept a secret, always stayed real. And I appreciate how you raised me and all the extra love that you gave me.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, regardless of anything, there are times to where you're gonna argue with your mom, you're gonna disagree with her, plenty of things, you know what I'm saying? But make sure you appreciate that she at least, she brought you in this world, because without her, you wouldn't be sitting right here or, standing or doing whatever you're doing in life. You know what I mean? So, hey, thanks, moms. That's the way I look at it. Shout out to my moms. Let's go.
Me and all the extra love that you gave me. I wish I could take the pain away. If you can make it through the night, there's a brighter day. Everything will be alright if you hold on. It's a struggle every day, gotta roll on. And there's no way I can pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Real quick. Like, and there's no way that I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. I think that may have been the most powerful words right there throughout the song. Like, there really is nothing to equate me paying you back for all the things that you did in my life type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I could just make you aware that, I understand and I'm truly thankful for what you have done for me. And, that's, look, man, like I said, we doing this all week for the moms. So shout out to all the dope moms, the good moms, not the, the trash moms. You feel me? The good moms. Shout out to you guys, because you guys are amazing. Like, truly. Let's let this ride out.
But my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama.
Please, no one above you,
You all
sweet
appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama. Dear mama.
This has been the classic Tupac song, Dear Mama. And when I tell you it's ill, it's ill. And yo, if y'all want us to jump into more Tupac here on the channel, definitely let us know. Jump in the comments, let us know exactly how you feel about that. Um, he's someone that I definitely respected. I've heard some of his catalog. I haven't jumped into everything in his catalog, just to be honest. But you know what? Hey, I'm down, and that's exactly what we got Pin Game here for. You feel me? So, whenever we do this, Third's gonna be here. We're gonna react to, a whole bunch of his stuff. There's things I've heard, there's things I haven't. So if y'all want more Tupac, y'all let me know right there in the comments. You know what I mean? But this right here has been Pin Game right here on Rhymes on Deck TV, where we view hip hop differently. Obviously, we just reacted to Tupac, Dear Mama, classic song. Rock with your boys. Make sure you like, comment, you subscribe, share. We appreciate all of the love that we've been getting. You know what I mean? And plus, trust me, we got a video that's dropping for all the barheads. If y'all don't know, barheads are fans of Rhymes on Deck TV, and myself is Master Rhymes. So we got something coming special for y'all. But anyway, we about to get about this bitch. Peace. Rhymes.